This show contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Movies with Ron, movies with Ron.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Movies with Ron.
Some people don't believe the allegations that Louis C.K. whipped his dick out. Others saw it coming. Yeah. Welcome to episode 75 of Movies with Ron, the podcast where my older brother recaps a movie he saw from beginning to end, for me and you, because we like his versions better. It's okay if you've seen the movie. It's okay if you haven't seen it. The experience is unique, so let's get it on. I'm Chris, your MC for the time being. Across from me, our sound guy, Rick.
Good evening.
And here he is, folks.
He's the ball cracker, death on foot. Ding! You know him, you love him. He's Ron.
Ron.
Yes!
Hey, Ron.
Good morning.
I know it's been a while, but do y'all remember our sister, Candy?
Candy.
Hey, everybody.
She's back, ladies and gentlemen.
And I am thrilled to be here.
As you should be.
No, you guys are great.
Thank you. All right.
You're doing great, Candy.
I just got hit by this tsunami of nervousness.
Don't worry.
All right. Last week, we did Thor. Thor grab a cock.
Thor did us. Thor grabbed the cock.
I keep reading that Matt Damon is in this movie.
Yeah, you know what? I am sorry, man. Matt Damon played the actor playing Loki in the play.
Oh.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I apologize. Also, the guy playing Thor was Chris Hemsworth's brother, I think. But,
Yeah.
but who cares? Also, I don't feel one bit bad about leaving Matt Damon out because the real winner there was Sam Neill.
I also read it's heavily influenced by the Planet Hulk comics.
Oh, yeah. They weren't going to do
Oh.
that story arc, and now they have decided to...
Well, they kind of did do it because Planet Hulk is where he just goes to a random planet and then becomes a star gladiator.
Yeah, but they're going to be starting a trilogy. It's not a standalone trilogy. Thor Ragnarok is the first movie in the Planet Hulk trilogy.
Oh. Because this whole time, just hearing about it, I thought there was a planet of Hulks.
No, man.
Come on, baby. You need them gamma rays.
All right, how about John Hamm? He's getting in the unemployment line, seems like.
Oh, yeah?
Doesn't he need something? I think he should be 007.
Ooh, that would be cool. But
Yeah.
he was just in Baby Driver, man.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
Baby Driver is like, it's like a one-off thing, plus it's like tarnished because of that Kevin Spacey stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's right.
Come on, John Hamm needs something. He needs a franchise or something like that, you know?
He would make a great serial killer, in my opinion. I think he needs something dark.
All right, got some bad news, Rick.
What?
Alex Kurtzman and Chris Morgan, the executive producers of the Monsterverse, Universal Monsterverse.
Yeah.
You know about
Oh.
that, right? They left the whole universe.
Oh,
Yeah.
They got to let go.
I got news of this kind of in the middle of the week. And the entire Dark Universe is shot to shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we will never see it.
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. But I think, here's the thing. All right. If you're not a movie buff, you don't know who those guys are. Alex Kurtzman, he wrote all the Transformers movies. And Chris Morgan produced all of the Fast and the Furious movies, right?
Yeah.
So Universal's like, well, we got to do this extended universe of all the old classic monsters. They got those two fucking guys to do it.
Right.
Right. So those guys leaving the project is like really good news.
I suppose a lot of entertainment news people viewed this as the end of the Dark Universe. But now that you put it that way, yeah, it kind of sounds like...
Yeah, they could get a guy like, they could team up with Blumhouse. Or they could get, Tim Burton. They could get him to do it.
No,
Yeah.
Dude.
please.
They could get me. You know what I'd do? First order of business in the Monsterverse. We're making The Mummy with Tom Cruise again, but we're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have started with The Mummy. We've seen The Mummy. We've done The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
It was too soon.
It is very too soon. What they had lined up was Johnny Depp with The Invisible Man. Start with that shit. Instant hook. Everybody would have been on board if they had done that.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit. Like, I was so excited when I heard about that shit. Take Johnny Depp and make him invisible.
Because you can see him at the beginning, then he does his shit and he becomes invisible.
Yeah, man.
But by the end of the movie, he like, I don't know how you know he's there. He like gets sprayed with something or he gets wrapped in a sheet,
Well,
because you know he's there.
in the original Invisible Man, it's because he dies. He gets shot and he's in a hospital bed. And when he dies, the effects wear off. And all of a sudden, here comes back Claude Rains. And you're just like, oh, fuck, he's a normal guy. What the fuck? And that was the first time Claude Rains actually made an appearance on film. Before he did Phantom of the Opera. Ladies and gentlemen, I ordered the
I'm impressed.
Blu-ray
Honestly.
DVD pack of the Dark Universe, and I reviewed all of it. I was so excited for this.
All right, so he becomes invisible. At the end, he gets shot, and the effects wear off, and he's all fat.
Yeah.
Because he, like, didn't have to be seen, right?
Right.
There's no such thing as a skinny, invisible person. I would just gorge, man. Come on.
That's my pleasure.
All right. 30% of all CGI artists don't get credited
What?
in end credits of the movies they work on. So this episode is for them.
Yes.
All right, Deep Rising.
What?
No.
Are you serious?
Done.
We're not done with what?
What? We're not done with what, Candy?
Bullshitting. Talking.
Talk louder.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay.
talk louder.
All right. All right.
You want to bullshit?
I do. Well, I know there's a lot of stuff in the news about creepy actors that we're now all seeing as bad guys. And I want to talk about some of the actors that are good guys, like you did with David Schwimmer last week.
Fuck him. I don't know why we're doing this for David Schwimmer.
No, I was reading, this girl wanted to, she applied for a picture for her debit card, which was a picture of Angry Cruz, to discourage her from spending too much money every time she whipped out her debit card. His face was going to be on it. And the bank said, oh, I'm sorry, you got to get permission from him if you want his picture on your card. So
Well,
she got on Twitter and asked him if it was okay. And he approved. And she sent it in, and she's got a debit card with Terry Cruz's picture on it because he's such a down-to-earth guy.
That is
Good
cool.
guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Sounds
Terry
like,
And it's a
Cruz.
great card. It's a great card.
yeah, it sounds like something he'd do.
Hell yeah.
Nothing but love.
I choose Tom Hanks. He's got so many humane, like, bonus points. He could be an actual serial killer, and we'd be like, he's all right.
Tommy Hanks. Come on.
All right, who's your good guy?
I'll tell you what. One guy that I'm thoroughly impressed with, that I always love because his acting seems so fluid, and he's not really in a lot of stuff anymore. But I've always it's been such a delight to see him in films. From what I hear, he has Happy Marriage and all that stuff and whatnot. Seems like a down-to-earth kind of person. Harvey Keitel.
The Bad Lieutenant?
He's your good guy?
Yeah, Bad Lieutenant is what I thought of immediately.
He made girls watch him jerk off in that movie.
Show me how you suck cock. Come on, show me. Show me.
All right, he's had many, many good roles. Harvey Keitel, yeah.
Now listen, people.
He is a treasure.
I do live under a rock. I have not seen this Bad Lieutenant film. And I gotta be honest with you. If he's able to demonstrate that kind of role, it must have been incredibly awkward.
Awkward? I've seen his penis in movies more than any other actor in film. I think he requests to be nude
That's probably
before
why.
he agrees to do a role.
That's probably why he's such a okay guy in my book.
Because he doesn't do it in secret, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Get it out
I
on
gotcha.
film, if I can, raise a stir, get paid, and then...
I'm on your side. Speaking of Bad Lieutenants, has anyone seen Bad Lieutenant Port of Call, New Orleans?
No.
What the fuck?
All right. In that one, the Bad Lieutenant is Nick Cage,
Oh, yeah. That's why I didn't see it.
but it's directed by Werner Herzog.
Yep.
Why did I pick Harvey Keitel?
Why did you pick Harvey Keitel?
I think it's
He
like
picked him because of
I think of Reservoir Dogs
and
it's just
Pulp
like-
Fiction. Like, he is like a fucking stand-up guy in both of those movies.
Like in Reservoir Dogs, he's talking to Mr. Orange, and he's always like, "You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay." And he fucking and he starts whispering in his ear and combing his hair, and he's just like, "You're just like, God damn it, that's so cool of a motherfucker.
He was good in that movie.
That's so cool."
A good actor likes to show his cock.
And why not?
The second one, though, everyone says it's a good movie. They said it has no right being a good movie, but apparently it is. That's what I was going to add. All right, Ron, who's a good guy?
Okay, my good guy. Probably the only actor in Hollywood who, if he was extorting women for sex,
Uh-huh.
would never get told on. He started the Just Keep Living Foundation that helps out schools in L.A. and Texas, his home state. Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew McConaughey. What woman wouldn't be okay with being extorted by him?
Yes, that's true.
I've done it 1,000 times. Ain't nobody telling.
Oh my god.
All right, Deep Rising.
What?
Woo!
Yeah, I did Deep Rising, guys.
Yeah. Directed by,
Stephen Sommers.
yeah.
He did the Mummy movies.
Yes.
Oh,
Brendan Fraser ones.
Deep Rising was kind of his training wheels to get those movies.
Yeah, baby.
God, man, it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of like running around from a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except Deep Rising is kind of like Tremors in the water.
yeah.
That's what it was
Yep.
supposed to be. It was a response to the movie Tremors.
Starring Treat Williams,
Yeah.
who was one of the cool zombie cops from Dead Heat. Then he did Deep Rising and then spent the rest of his career playing dads and granddads on CW shows.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Famke Janssen.
Xenia Onatop.
Yeah. Also our favorite Kevin J. O'Connor.
Who's that?
Grease Monkey?
The Grease Monkey.
Oh.
So many great people in this. Jason Fleming, Cliff Curtis.
Jaimin Hansu.
Yeah, man.
Kano?
Kano is in.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah.
We miss you, Kano.
Yeah. Remember being in Germany with the Sky One commercials?
Uh-huh.
I can clean that floor, mate. Remember that? Yeah.
I do.
He was a spokesman for that mop thing.
Hell yeah.
All right. We got to post that. You can find it somewhere.
He was such a scallywag.
And don't forget Wes Studi.
Yep. The greatest American Indian ever.
The reviews range from, it's officially the best film ever made, 10 out of 10. And then there's a 3 out of 10 titled, Makes the Brain Ache.
Yeah.
I think more people love this movie than hate it, though.
Absolutely. It's not a good movie at all, though.
All right, people. Grab a life jacket and a shotgun, because you're going to need it. Because it's time for Deep Rising on Movies with Ron.
It's showtime. Get the people out! Come on! Get the people out!
All right, so we got some screen blurb. Far below the South China Sea lies an underwater mountain range with canyons deep enough to hide the Himalayas, deeper than any man or machine has ever explored. Throughout the centuries, countless vessels have vanished into these waters without a trace. Their disappearance has remained a mystery. And it's like, oh, no, 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 no. All right, and so the first thing we see is like some underwater footage. And the camera's like flying around underneath these fucking canyons and shit, and there's all these different shipwrecks from different periods of time. And it becomes clear that we are seeing the point of view of a monster. And then all of a sudden, out of the darkness, we just see a fleeting image of some big, dark, slimy thing just like zipping across the screen and out into the darkness of the ocean. And then it goes, deep rising. Yeah. So then we have a lone boat speeding across the ocean at night, and it's all stormy and rainy and shit. In the cockpit is Treat Williams, baby.
Yeah.
Woo.
The man's man. Woo indeed. He's got this young Asian crew member out on the deck, and she's like all pissed off because she has to be out there working. He's like, how's it going out there, Layla? And her voice, I don't know if she was dubbed or whatever, but it is so over the top Asian. She's like, fuck you. How you doing, my ass? I'm totally soaked out here. He's like, oh, come on. I pay you $2 a day, don't I? Get off your lazy ass and come and help me.
Oh, God.
Hey, cut me some slack, will ya? I'm working hard too, you know? And then we see that he's just sitting there playing video poker. And he loses a hand and it says, game over, game over. And then it fucking glitches. And we see his radar is fucking glitching too. And for the first time, he says his signature catchphrase in this movie, now what? And then the radar completely dies. And he's like, son of a bitch. Hey, grease monkey! By the way, what did you say his name was? Kevin J. O'Connor?
Yes.
That is the first time I've ever heard his name ever. Our whole lives long, we've just called him Grease Monkey because of this movie.
Yep.
And Grease Monkey is the, he's the engine man. He's the Grease Monkey of the boat. So he's down there working on the engines and shit. And he's like, what? I'm flying blind up here, Brainiac. I thought you fixed the radar. It's a little temperamental. You have to be gentle. Gentle my ass. The whole system just crapped out on me. Yeah, killed off by your negative vibes, no doubt. No doubt. And then he hits it, the radar, and at that moment, the Grease Monkey is like playing around in a fuse box, and he gets fucking shocked. And he's like, ow, are you hitting that thing again? No. At that point, Layla comes in from the storm, and she's all pissed off that he wasn't helping. He's like, I love you too, Layla. And in walks Wes Studi, who I will call Magua. That was his name in Last of the Mohicans.
All right.
And Magua says, everything all right? Just peachy. We are on schedule, are we not? Well, you didn't hire me for my social graces. That's right. I hired you based on your reputation. You'd better live up to it. Where are we? Middle of nowhere, as you can see. Now there's this other shady dude that walks in. And they're like, he and Wes Studi are both, he and Magua are both wearing all black. And he's like, yeah, Treat Williams. I heard of you. Thought you'd be older. Yeah, like a fine wine, I'm aging gracefully. Fine wine my ass. You look like a keg of beer to me. Magua's like, do you have any questions, Treat? No, like the sign says, if the cash is there, we do not care. Very good. And then he leaves. And then Treat Williams is like, where the hell are we going? So the boat goes onward into the night. And then we cut to the greatest cruise ship ever. It's bigger. It's more extravagant than any ever before. And inside there is a huge motherfucking ritzy party going on.
Yeah.
And there's like lounge singing like, Lady Luck, da-da-da-da. Everybody's gambling and shit. It's fucking awesome. And now we see in the middle of this huge party going on, there's a hot chick in a red dress. And she's like making her way through the crowd. Then all of a sudden, there's this big important guy who gets up to make a big speech to the whole party. And it is Dr. Chilton from The Silence of the Lambs.
Nice.
And he's like the designer, inventor, owner of the ship. And he's like, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, Captain Atherton and the crew, welcome to the maiden voyage of The Argonautica! And everybody fucking erupts in applause. The Argonautica. The hundreds of men and women employed on this ship have but one objective. To make your dreams come true. Myself, I have but one dream. To build the most luxurious pleasure ship ever built. And tonight, seeing all of you here, so beautiful, so elegant, so rich, I realize my dream has come true. So thank you. And he holds up his champagne glass and he goes, to the Argonautica! Good times forever! So the party rages on, and now we see that chick in the red dress, and it is Xenia Onatopp. Mm-hmm. She's walking around, and she sees Captain Atherton, the captain of the cruise ship, and he's talking to some rich old lady, and he's like, yeah, there's nothing like her, Mum. She can hit a 40-foot swell and not even put a ripple across your martini. And then Xenia, she's just like fucking watching him, and you're like, what the hell's going on here? And then she goes and bumps into him, all sexy and French. Oh, excusez-moi. He's like, oh, no, it's fine, madam. And then she takes a bottle of champagne and walks outside. Turns out, bitch stole his wallet. Oh. So she goes through it. She sees his picture and she's like, yeah, Jesus, nice picture. And it's like, man, bitch. So she steals his security key card and then throws the rest of it into the water. You know? It's probably a bunch of hard to replace stuff, you know? Cruise ship captain's wallet. Yeah. So she's sitting there looking off into the darkness, and she hears a bunch of howling and screeching, like way off in the distance. She's like, what the fuck is that? Oh, well, guess I'll go back in. So we cut back to Treat's boat.
Into the boat!
And we see Treat's passengers. Along with Magua, there's a whole bunch of other guys dressed in black down in the, the bowels of the boat. One of them is Kano from Mortal Kombat, and he is puking. So he's seasick, and he's like, I hate this bloody water stuff. Next to him is Jaimon Hansu, the one and only. And he just says, reminds me, I'm hungry. You guys know who Jason Fleming is?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How about telling the listeners?
He's in a lot of Guy Ritchie movies.
Uh-huh.
Lock, Stock, 2 Smoking Barrels.
Yeah. He was, he's in that George Romero movie, Bruiser. Remember Bruiser?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, go on.
He was in Snatch. Played Brad Pitt's buddy.
The gay singer of the Steel Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Mark Wahlberg replaced.
Yeah.
What
In
was that movie?
Rockstar?
Yeah, Rockstar.
Steel Dragon. He's like, you're always hungry. Yeah, so I'm a growing boy. And then we see Cliff Curtis of Fear the Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. He's a member of this ragtag band. And somebody's like, hey, what's up, Cliff? He's like, I was just realizing that my goal in life is to make love to a woman from every country in the world before I die. Even made-up countries like Kano's. Aye, what's that supposed to mean? Australia is a country. Well, whatever. If there's women there, I'm interested. And then Jaimon's like, you come to my country, I'll kill your ass. So he's a horny prick. Kano and Cliff get into a little standoff just to prove that they're all really tough guys, and then they laugh it off because that's what tough guys do. And then Kano starts puking again. Jaimon gets up in his face and he's like, hey, you know what I want to eat? I take a couple of nice greasy pig's feet, some pickled monkey brains, and one of them big elephant eyeballs, raw, so they pop when you bite into them. And he gets up in his face, he's like, and Kano fucking keeps puking. So the grease monkey is spying on him from around the corner, and he's jacking off. He sees him fucking with Kano, and then Magua says,
work well on your new costumes, my friends. For when you care for what is outside, what is inside cares for you.
Getting ready for the mission. Grease Monkey sneaks into the cargo hold to take a look at their stuff, and he goes to open up a crate, and he has to pull a wrench out of his pants to do this. While he's doing that, he hurts his own dick. Treat calls him over the radio, and he's like, hey, you're not where I think you are you? This radar's still funky. I don't want to crash into an uncharted island. You know how many of those are out here? I don't know, 2? Yeah, that's real funny. Are you going to fix it? Hey, what is this, a talk show? I need some quiet time. So he opens up the crate, and there is a big fucking torpedo in it. And he's like, oh, holy shit. He looks around. There's like 50 other crates of them. And he goes, oh, shit. And then big old Jaimin Hansu grabs him and spins him around, gets in his face and goes, oh, shit. Get in there. And he throws him to the rest of those fucking guys. They're like, oh, look at what we got here. I found him snooping around the cargo. Grease Monkey, knowing he's in trouble, just looks up at him and says, if there's anything I could do to make your trip more comfortable, you come to me, okay? Then Kano just goes, good day, mate, and kicks him in the fucking face. And then they all just beat the shit out of him. Just for fun. Layla and Treat can hear this going on the radio. What kind of a name is Treat?
I have always thought that.
All right, hold on. His bio says it was his mother's surname.
All right.
Yeah.
She's like, don't just sit here. Go help him. Are you kidding me? Those guys are dangerous. No shit. You got to do something. So Magwa's just standing there watching him beat the shit out of this fucking guy. And then, like 3 harpoons just go into the wall right next to his face. It's Treat Williams. Down there to fucking rescue Grease Monkey. We got a contract. 20 hours, out and back. You beat my engine man to death. It's going to take a hell of a lot longer. And that's okay by me, because overtime will run you double. He was nosing around my cargo. Yeah, okay, so he's nosy. And then they all just vote to kill Grease Monkey and throw him overboard. Well, we don't vote here. See, it's not a democracy. And then one of those assholes kicks Grease Monkey in the face like one more time. Okay, I'll say it one more time for the hearing impaired. And then he fucking punches one of the dudes in the face and then holds his harpoon gun right into Cliff Curtis's cheek. So they have this big, huge Mexican standoff because they all point guns at him. Somebody puts a knife on Grease Monkey's throat and shit. And then Treat's like, this could be messy. And Magwa calls them all off. They let the Grease Monkey go real slow, and then Treat, still with the harpoon in Cliff's cheek, he just says, everybody okay? Anybody gonna shoot anybody? Okay. And then he stands down and he leaves. As he's leaving, he just goes, oh, that's a year off my life. And it's like, damn, Treat, good job, man. You know?
Yeah.
He just fucking took on that whole team of motherfuckers. So back on the cruise ship, Xenia is using her stolen key card to break into the vault. Turns out she's just a fucking thief.
Yeah.
She puts some gum on the security camera, you know, like you do. She opens up a vault and she's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, jewels. And right then, Dr. Chilton clears his throat behind her. And she's like, ah, fuck. She turns around. He's there, the captain's there, and then a couple other assholes. And the captain's like, oh, look at that, red-handed. You are a sneaky little trollop, aren't you? Dr. Chilton has a fax with her dossier on it, and it's like fucking rap sheet as long as your arm. It's all about robbery and shit. Oh my goodness, how does such a beautiful woman as young as you amass such a record? Trust me, it wasn't easy. I think it's because you're not very good at what you do. And then he slaps her like a fucking whore. Captain Atherton is like, oh, steady on, mate. No need for that. Tell me, Captain, do we have a brig on this ship? Yeah, but it's not finished. You can't throw a lady in the brig. True, but you, mademoiselle, are no lady. So she gets locked in a fucking storeroom. After they leave her there, she opens up Dr. Chilton's wallet that she took when he slapped her. And she's like, and you, Dr. Chilton, are no gentleman. So back with Treat, Layla is stitching up Grease Monkey's face, which is just bleeding like shit. And he's like, they weren't nukes, but, you know, the boom sure would make your butt pucker. As she's stitching his face up, he's like, ow, you got any Novocaine? And she's like, oh, and my little love bug, you want some Novocaine? And then she kisses him. And it's like, what? Because she's way too hot for the Grease Monkey. She kisses him and he's like, oh, I think I need a higher dosage. You always need a higher dosage. And it is weird as shit.
It's not weird. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, it is cute.
Like he had that understated charm that she just fell for.
She likes the grease monkey.
Yeah?
No, but he was great in this
You used to
movie.
have posters of this guy on your wall?
But every role that he was in, he just fit right in that role.
He just plays himself. Treat's like, yeah, fucking great. I got bombs in my basement. God damn it. Well, you should ask more questions before a job. Yeah, if the cash is there, we do not care. What the hell kind of philosophy of life is that, man? Torpedoes. What the hell are they gonna do with torpedoes? So now we see, and it's Jason Fleming, one of the mercs, because obviously they're mercs. And he's in there arming torpedoes. Everybody else is sewing up their costumes. And they're gearing up. Magua turns around and he's like, "Gentlemen, say hello to the Chinese M1L1 triple pulse assault rifle." You guys remember these fuckers?
Nope.
Yep.
Big fucking guns.
Big fucking guns. So they were actually Calico M960 submachine guns, with a single barrel. And the production company actually built little spinning barrels around their functional barrel. So it looks like there's like 6, looks like a mini Sampini gun.
I said big fucking guns. And then you guys go into detail.
Sorry, I researched them. So Xenia is stuck in that storeroom, getting drunk on champagne, baby. I don't know why she's stuck, because she has a key card. And now we cut to a door that says authorized personnel only, and there is a mystery figure in there, and he's going in there. We only see his hands, and he's like, shutting down all the systems on the ship. Fucking things over. And like everything's powering down and going offline and shit. And then the bridge of the ship just like goes into chaos. The captain's like, "What the fuck?" "Switch to auxiliary power." Negative, sir. We have a complete mainframe meltdown. I think this might be a Pepsi syndrome. "Maybe it's the storm, sir. Dr. Chilton's there." And he's like, "That's nonsense. This ship is impervious to weather." "Yeah, we got no signal either. We can't even call for help. Everything's fucked." "This equipment is state-of-the-art. Top of the line." The captain's like, "Shut the fuck up! We're in a dangerous situation. We have no radar or imaging. We're sailing blind, man. There's no way to communicate our situation." And he just said that they don't have any radar. And then a crewman goes, "I have something here, sir." What is it?" "I don't know, but whatever it is, it's big." "Well, maybe it's a pod of whales. Moving at 31 knots? "I don't think so. It's at 150 meters deep and rising." He's like, 140, 130, 120. And he just keeps counting down. Now we see the big old rich bullshit party in the atrium of the ship, okay? Everybody's fucking going crazy. They're all getting so drunk, they are all gonna fuck later. Chilton's like, "What the hell are they?" On the radar screen that doesn't work. 90, 80, 70, 60, 50 meters. And then boom! Something crashes into the fucking ship. The whole atrium goes fucking haywire, and it looks like the Poseidon Adventure. Everybody's sliding across the floor. Lamps are falling. Xenia's in there fucking like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." Like eggs and hay falling on her. I don't know. And then we get one of Rick's favorite scenes in any movie ever. One of the partygoers, it's a young lady. She is scared to death. She's crying her ass off. She runs. You know what? Fuck everybody else. She's going to hide in the bathroom. She gets in there. She locks the door. And there's a guy outside like, trying to get in. She's too scared to share the bathroom with him. She just sits down on the toilet and just keeps crying. And then around her, she hears all this creaking and screeching. And she's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." And then that bitch gets sucked into the toilet.
Oh.
And then there's this huge fountain of blood that just hits the ceiling. It was great.
Toilet death.
Back on Treat's boat, the mercs are bolting a torpedo launcher to the front deck. And Treat's like, "What the fuck are you doing? I didn't say you could put holes in my boat. That's going to cost you extra." "Oh, fuck, man. It's a torpedo launcher, man. What the fuck's happening here?" "I don't like this." "Neither do I." Then Magua pops his head up. into the bridge, and he says,
He who questions training only trains himself at asking questions.
What?
Then the radar turns on for a second. You know, it's on the fritz. And it's like, beep, beep, like they're about to hit something. And then, it goes out again. And Treat's like, what the hell was that? He puts on his night vision goggles and looks out ahead. And we see this tiny little boat right in front of them that they immediately crash into. So they all get rocked and rolled, and it's huge and violent. And the engine room's like fucking exploding and burning and shit. Grease Monkey's in there getting fucked.
We're going to Big Park!
Treat's like, oh, that's it, I'm shutting her down. He turns off everything. Doesn't matter. Boat's still fucking burning. Downstairs, the Mercs and the Grease Monkey, they're fighting the fire together. And they got a huge hole in the starboard bow. Jesus, what did we hit? And then the Grease Monkey pulls out of one of the engines like a tiny little boat propeller. I think we killed a speedboat. What the hell? We're hell and gone from the nearest land. No way a speedboat gets out this far. Yeah, nothing works. The engines are fucked, man. Yeah, we're leaking fuel, too. We got about 20 minutes, and then I'd say we're dead in the water. Magwa's like, Treat. You do something. We have a job to finish, a schedule to maintain. Grease Monkey's like, oh, would you listen to this crap? Shut up, Grease Monkey. You're expendable, you know. And that Merc who just said that, he actually said Grease Monkey, and that's where we got his name. Yeah, I know. Story of my life. So Layla is up on deck, and she's looking through night vision goggles. She's like, oh my God, you guys, get up here. They look out there, and yep, there is a cruise ship out there in the water. So that's obviously where the speedboat came from, you know?
Mm-hmm. The Argonomicon?
Yes. Klaatu! Rata! So Treat and Grease Monkey are like, whoa, hey, check it out, fucking cruise ship out there. You think she could spare some fuel and a few minutes in her machine shop? Absolutely. Right then, the Mercs show up, and they all hold him at gunpoint. Like, it's time to stop fucking around. Magwa cocks his, he's holding a shotgun now. He cocks it and he's like, we'll take over from here. Treat's like, yeah, hey man, they're a cruise ship. So obviously you guys are planning on taking it hostage. Okay. Mm-hmm. So just so you know, those fuckers got like half a dozen different ways of calling for help. Not anymore. One of the Mercs says, hey Grease Monkey, can you actually fix this boat? Yeah, if I can get into their machine shop and get some parts, yeah, I guess. Okay, Treat and Grease Monkey. They'll come with us. Treat's like, nah. The three of us stay together. Magwa's like, Billy, you watch the girl. Old Cliff Curtis then says, oh man, what about me? I haven't done Korean. Hey, Mr. Comedy, leave my girlfriend out of this. And then he gets grabbed and put in his fucking place and made a fool in front of his girlfriend, who he shares like a look with where it's like, sure hope we see each other again.
Oh, God.
They look at the cruise ship and they're like, hey, why isn't it moving? It's like dead in the water. What's going on here? I don't know. Okay, you know the drill. Let's move out.
Time to start running!
So then Jason Fleming has like a little handheld iPad. This is in like 1998. And he uses it to hack the cruise ship's computers.
Ah, a Unix system.
Yeah.
All right.
Which have all been shut down anyway. Remember that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he opens up a door in the side of the cruise ship with it, and they shoot some grappling hooks up into it. Tree's like, hey, Magwa, relax, will you? You're not going to need your guns. Hey, what if they attack us? With what? Margaritas and tanning oil? Come on. They all go up into the ship now. And now they're in the jet ski bay. Ski-doos. And it's all like fucked up and wrecked, and like there's like waist-deep water in it, okay? Magwa's like, use all force necessary. Intimidation factor must be high. So they're running into the ship, and they're all like sounding off like the different things that they are on the team for, like vault, check. Casino, check. All right, here come the party crashers. Then they bust into the atrium, and there's nobody there. That's where the big party was. Mm-hmm. So it is totally fucking wrecked. And they're like, what the fuck? Looks like they had one hell of a shindig. Jaimin says, "We got blood here." "We got blood here too, mate." That's Kano.
Yeah, I can clean that floor, mate.
"I can clean that floor, mate." Margot's like, "We got blood everywhere, mate." And then the elevator dings. They all turn around. Here we go. They're aiming their guns. The doors open up. It's totally empty, except it's completely covered in blood. So they're all confused and shit. And remember, it's like storming, so there's all thunder and everything.
It was a great set. I just got to say, I love the empty cruise ship setting for a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost Ship, that was kind of a
Ghost
crazy movie.
Ship.
I liked that too.
Poseidon Adventure. Fuck yeah.
Virus. Remember that?
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I love that
Oh,
movie.
that was a great movie.
Robots on a boat.
Loved it.
Weird.
Robots on a boat. Yeah, it's like desolate and also totally confined. Mm-hmm. You know? One of those settings has a special place in your heart. Like for me, it's like horror in the cold. You know, like The Thing.
Yes.
I love horror in the snow.
Yeah.
For some reason.
No, me too. 30 Days of Night.
Oh, yeah. So they're like, where the hell is everybody? They go outside and all the lifeboats, yep, they're intact, still there. All right, what the fuck? Okay, all right, well, let's go. Just keep searching. Fuck this. So they're searching the boat. They got the guns, all right? This place looks post-evac, man. Treat's like, yeah, looks like somebody beat you to the punch, Magua. Who cares? You know what? Let's hit the vault and go. They go through the casino and there's like still money on the tables and shit like that. I actually read in the trivia that it's all lira and it's all bills that are like 100 lira, which is like 50 cents. That's like the budget of this movie. By the way, I don't know if anyone knows this, but Harrison Ford was asked to play the part of Treat Williams.
Oh, that would have been fun.
When he said no, the budget plummeted.
Wow.
He never would have done this movie.
No.
But if he had, would they have had better effects, better writing? Would the director have cared more about his actors acting? Like Magua? Oh my God. The worst actor in this movie. And he's such a great actor otherwise.
Yeah.
He was so wooden. And it actually made me think like, well, if you're not going to pay me enough, I'm not going to act enough. I'll tell you who is the greatest actor in this entire movie. Dr. Chilton. He steals every scene he is in. So one of the mercs like, grabs some money off of the table, stuffs it in his pockets. Right then, some Chinese firework goes off in the atrium, because there was Chinese shit happening earlier. Like drums and shit.
Yeah.
Then they all turn and start fucking shooting at it. This is the first time they've gotten to use their big super guns. So they love it. They're shooting at this shit for like a long time. They are mowing this room down, okay? And then while they're still shooting, okay? Grease Monkey and Treat like look at each other like, dude, what the fuck are they doing? They're like, all right, stop, Jesus. And then all the mercs just start laughing and they're looking at their guns like, yeah, man, holy shit. Fuck me, mate. And then they all just start firing again. 1,000-round capacity is fine. Magua walks in and says, all right, knock it off. Machine shop. Sub-level 9. Okay, we split up. Kano and Cliff Curtis, they take Grease Monkey and Treat. You like all these names? It's a B-level cast, but it is an ensemble B-level cast.
Yes.
None of them are famous, but they all have special places in our hearts. Special plates. Right in the hearts. Men and women everywhere. I have a special plate in my heart for you, too. Thanks for coming, Candy.
You're welcome.
So the rest of them go to the bridge, okay? Oh, move out, fuckers! And it cuts to Xenia. She wakes up in the storeroom. She's all covered in hay and shit. Now there's the metal around the storeroom is like creaking and scratching and bending like, and she's like, oh shit, what the hell? Okay. So then she pulls a hairpin out of her hair and then hacks the door with it. I might add, she stole a key card from Dr. Chilton. So she gets out of that room. Cutting back to the bridge, everything is all static and, snow on the screens and everything. Yeah, your man did a good job of shutting things down, Magua.
Yeah, but he wasn't supposed to stop the ship.
Yeah, or kill everybody on it. Like, what the fuck, man?
There's no bodies. It's just like everyone just vanished.
So back on Treat's boat, Layla is trying to fix the big hole in the side of the boat, which is very large. Large enough for 2 or 3 people to jump through at the same time, okay? And she's using a little, cutting torch. She's like, welding it shut.
Yeah.
Anyway, then she hears some fucking animal noises or shit around her. She's like, hey, is that you? The only merc left there to guard her his name's Billy. Turn on the pump, you idiot. We are sinking. Billy, up on deck, actually says these words. You're not the boss of me. I feel like if Harrison Ford was in this movie, that line wouldn't have been there, guys. You're not the boss of me. What's going on here? So she goes back to welding, and then we get a big jump scare. And it is the dead, bloated body floating up out of the water of Rodney Dangerfield.
All right.
His eyes are bugged out so far. Like, that's who he looks like. That or the guy from fucking Total Recall. So then Layla's like, Jesus, dead body. And she leans in to look at him. And then she gets fucking pulled out of the hole in the boat, out into the ocean by some sort of creature. Okay. We have just lost Layla. So we cut to the machine shop. Treat Williams is there, and he's like, yeah, hey, the holes of these ships are supposed to be impervious, So why are my feet wet? Yeah, they thought they were sinking, so they abandoned ship. Grease Monkey's like, oh my God, he's right. You're right. They all jumped overboard. I can just see the last asshole in saying, shit, we forgot the lifeboats. Guess we're going to have to just swim for it. Everybody laughs, except for Kano, who has just been made to look stupid. Fucking puts a gun in Grease Monkey's face like, you got a big mouth, you know that? Yeah, I know that. I don't like you. And then Grease Monkey's just staring at him, and he goes, you don't even know me. All right, come on, hurry it up. Treat this whole time has been hammering something in a vise. Ding, ding, ding. Making some parts for the boat.
Where is he?
They're in the machine shop on the cruise ship. Kano goes to investigate off by himself a little bit, and we see for the first time something moving in the foreground. Okay, it's slimy and in the darkness. We don't see what it is yet, but we got some creature shit coming.
Woo.
Did you see that? Treat's like, hey, stay close. I didn't know you cared. I care about your gun. Hey, Cliff Curtis, keep an eye on him. And then my favorite scene in this movie happens. Favorite in the whole thing. Treat Williams and Grease Monkey are just standing next to each other, waist deep in water, okay? Grease Monkey has something small in his hands, and he's manipulating it. He's looking at it. He's paying real close attention to it. Treat's like, what you got there? Peanut? Peanut? Peanut. Okay, peanut. Right then, Grease Monkey fucking drops the peanut and it goes. And he goes, shit! Kano's out there searching around, searching the hallway. He's walking through the water, he's creeping around and shit. Remember, it's an industrial part of the ship. It's steam and shit. Motherfucker takes a handful of the water and drinks it and then spits it out because it's seawater. Why did he drink it? Then he hears a noise and he's like, what the fuck? Oi, come out or I'll kick your ass. And then a bunch of cables fall out of the ceiling as a jump scare. It's nothing. It's fine. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Now he hears the growling, okay? And he's pretty spooked. He looks down, and now behind him, the water starts bubbling. And then crash! Something fucking comes up out of the water and grabs him. As that happens, he throws his gun up in the air. It lands right in front of Treat, like it was just meant to be. And there's a huge blood spray that like coats everything in that part of the machine shop. And Cliff Curtis is like, Kano, what did you do? What did you do to him? Hey, relax, man. We didn't fucking do anything to him. And then, rah! They start hearing fucking creatures and shit. Good thing we cut to Xenia on a top, who goes back to the vault to steal those jewels. Now that there's no one around on the ship, you know? Then she gets caught by Magua and the Mercs. That's my band name. They're all like, you, who the fuck are you? Where is everybody else on the ship? Jaimin takes the key card out of her hand. He's like, thank you. Makes my job a lot easier. Hey, I thought you liked blowing stuff up. I do. And then he opens the vault with it. The big vault. Okay? And as the door is opening, he's going, yeah, money, 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 money. And then he takes a fucking axe in the forehead. And his mouth is like frozen wide open.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jaimin Hansu. Dead as fuck. The guy who put the axe in his head was Dr. Chilton, who's hiding in the vault with Captain Atherton and everybody else. So the Mercs take him out, and they're like, who the fuck are you? What the fuck? You just killed one of my best men. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought he was one of those things. What things? They're fucking all over the ship, man. Jesus Christ. Right then, Cliff Curtis radios them, and he's like, hey, I think Kano's dead. Treat's like, fuck them. We gotta get out of here, man. There's something here. Shut the fuck up. There is nothing here. There is only you and me. And then right then, Cliff Curtis gets sucked down into the water. His gun flies up in the air as well. And Treat catches this one. So now he and Grease Monkey both have guns. Cliff doesn't just disappear, though. He gets dragged around like...
Ace Ventura in the Shark Tank.
Ace Ventura in the Shark Tank. It's pretty violent. And then he vanishes into a hole. And yep, a bunch of blood sprays out. So these fuckers spray some blood.
Yeah.
Treat and Grease Monkey fucking run for it. Fuck this. Come on, get the parts now. Let's go, let's go. They throw the boat parts into a backpack, okay? Magua and Dr. Chilton hear this shit going on the radio, and they're like, oh man, we have got to get off of this ship. They're everywhere. Magua says,
Patience, my son. To summon your power for the conflict to come, you must first have power over that which conflicts you.
As Treat and Grease Monkey are running down this hallway, we get a scene lifted right out of Tremors, okay? The panels of the floor are popping up as if something is breaking them from underneath.
Yeah.
And that is that's what's chasing them. Mm-hmm. We don't see the creature, just the floorboards popping up. They run in through a hatch and then they turn the wheel. We see Xenia now. She is in the elevator and it is going haywire. She's like hitting the E-stop and shit. That's emergency stop. And there's a bunch of banging and growling. Then the door opens, and she's got her shoe ready to kill whatever is coming in here. It's Grease Monkey. She hits him in the face. He goes fucking down, and his nose is bleeding and shit. Treat grabs her. He's like, who the hell are you? Well, who the hell are you? And they look at each other, and they're like, sexy. I didn't expect to find you here. Mutual attraction. Grease Monkey says, I think she broke my nose. Yeah, give me a chance and I'll break the rest of your face. Not that anyone would notice. And Grease Monkey goes, what is this about? What the fuck? So we got some more bumping and growling, from the monsters, not Treat. See, I told you there's something up there. They aim with their guns. And then the elevator door opens up again, and now it's the Mercs. And so they're all fucking pointing guns at each other. The Mercs, they know how to handle this. Put it down! Drop it now! Drop it! Drop it! Treat drops it. 'Cause he's a bitch. I know you love Treat Williams in this movie, but he is not a hero. There are no heroes in Deep Rising. Treat and the Mercs, they were all hired for nefarious reasons, and Xenia, she's a thief.
Yeah.
No heroes. So they're talking about how Cliff Curtis and Kano is dead, and Jason Fleming is like, you killed him, didn't you? Didn't you? And he's really overacting, and it's dumb, and he gets up in Treat's face, and Treat just knees him in the balls and takes this Merc down. Treat's like, no, man, there is something on this ship. Magua says, bullshit. No. Dr. Chilton's like, no, it's not bullshit. Mr. Magua. There are things on this ship. Hey, you two know each other? Magua looks at the captain. He's like, what happened here? The ship, it's infested. With what? I don't know. How should I know? Right then, the elevator gets attacked again. So it's bumping and grinding. And then it stops. And now it starts to go up real slow. And the metal's like creaking. And everybody's like, what the fuck's going on here? And then the girl from Ipanema starts playing in the elevator. Rick's going to treat us to what that sounds like right now. Yeah. And Treat's like, what the hell is that? Grease Monkey goes, the girl from Ipanema. And then the elevator falls. And everybody's fucking screaming. It is scary as fuck. Xenia grabs onto Treat. So he's grabbing her boobs. He's doing that as the elevator hits the bottom floor of the boat, which is like 50 floors. So it crashes and they all just spill out of the doors. And then the elevator goes, this elevator is out of service. They're all catching their breath. And Dr. Chilton, we got a shot of him. He's fucking great. He's like, oh, Jesus, he's pushing his glasses up his nose and shit. And then he turns around and there is a fucking melted human skeleton with flesh falling off of it right behind him. They turn around and the entire hallway that they're in is completely filled with that shit.
Yeah, this is what I remember from this movie, the juicy skeleton.
Juicy.
Yeah.
All their flesh is like melted. It's fucking gross looking. Everybody fucking panics. Treat Williams sees one of those super guns on the floor, and he goes to pick it up. Magua just like stomps his boot down on it, like, I don't think so, bitch. And then the door at the very end of the hallway starts like bending outward, okay? Something fucking powerful is on the other side. Right then, Magua's like, hey, Treat. Treat looks, and he throws him the gun. I need your help here, man. One of the hinges pops off the door and lands at Treat's feet, and he's like, now what? Then all the walls in the hallway start bending and shit. So, man, whatever is back here is fucking huge, okay? And it is coming. So Magua and Treat, they got these guns, and they're like creeping forward. They're gonna fucking take care of this, all right? This door is bulging out so fucking hard, it's obviously going to fly forward. I would be running the other way, okay? So they gotta step over all this gross gore and shit, and then another merc steps in and pops a human skull. And it makes him panic and go, oh shit! And right then, the monsters start fucking attacking again. And all the hallways like crushing and shit. And they all gotta run. So they go out some door and then Treat closes it. Back on Treat's boat, Billy is searching for Layla, who followed Rodney Dangerfield into the water. Treat and the gang make it into some, locker room for employees on the ship. Now we get a little exposition from Dr. Chilton. It's like the ship hit a reef, then, it came to a sudden stop, and then all of a sudden they were everywhere. All the passengers panicked. We had no way to give an SOS. Somebody's like, fuck this, man. Game over, man. Let's call the Marines. The captain says, you don't understand. Something has jammed the systems. Treat Williams. Boy genius. Not something. Someone. And then he aims his gun at Dr. Chilton. Who's like, huh? Yeah, you did this shit, didn't you? I own this ship. Why would I do that? And then Treat's like, yeah, it's got to be worth, a couple of $100 million. $486.6 billion, to be exact. Yeah, so, you did it for the insurance, didn't you, bitch? Oh, yeah. And then Magua's like, very quick, Mr. Treat.
Mr. Treat.
486 billion.
Million. Did I say billion?
Yeah.
I did for real?
Yeah.
Fuck that. So they look at Dr. Chilton. All right, well, how do we fix it? Answer him, bitch! Look, all systems got melted to the core. There is no fixing them. Then Captain Atherton is like, you piece of shit. I thought this was your life's work. Yeah, it's the insurance. He did it for the insurance, man. He's a piece of shit. But why? We were operating at full capacity. Dr. Chilton's like, yeah, but unfortunately, the cost of operating at full capacity is a lot more than we were ever going to take in. So we're all going to die because you screwed up on the math? I simply misjudged the market. The passengers would all be safe. We were all going to get off in the lifeboats. Everything was going to be fine. The captain, the old British captain, attacks Dr. Chilton. You son of a bitch, you sold us out! During this commotion, Xenia picks up a sidearm and then, like, gingerly puts it into the ass of her pants. Woo! Which she's wearing pants now. I don't remember when that happened. Treat watches her do this. She looks up at him and he, like, nods at her. Like, yeah. She goes, what? I like it. Thanks. Just fuck already. That was Captain Atherton. He said that. Grease Monkey's fucking standing there, watching everybody be assholes and shit, and then some fucking ectoplasmic slime starts to drip from above, and it's like hitting his shoulder, and he's like, oh, what the hell is that? Oh my god, this is fucking gross. For the first time, now we see some shit. There are these giant, slimy, spiny fucking worm monsters coming down out of the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Grease Monkey fucking screams. They all see it. They're like, holy shit! One of these worm things has like a big bulge in it. Like an ostrich swallowing an orange, okay?
Yeah.
And it's like moving along its body. They shoot it, and it pukes up a living man. And he is half digested. Like his head is digested in half. We can see half his fucking brain and shit.
No blood.
Yeah, no blood.
Just tendons and shit. Yeah. It's
and
gross.
He's all screaming and shit, and they're like, oh, it's Billy! So that's the asshole from the boat. You're not the boss of me. So they all start firing at these monsters, okay? They're like big worms, you know, with spikes all over them. So they got to run, and they're getting chased and shit. And because of the close quarters of the cruise ship, we never see their whole body. All right? Just these giant fucking worms rocketing forward, coming at them. They all end up getting separated, and Xenia, of course, runs into Treat. She's like, let's make a deal here. You get me to your boat, and I can have whatever I want. Yeah, okay. Whatever you want. And, you know, she's like, oh, great. Gotta blow him or something.
Watch me jerk off.
Yeah. And then Treat pulls a fucking David Schwimmer and he goes, can you get me a cold beer? What? And she looks at him like, oh, I think I love you. He doesn't want to fuck me. The man just wants a beer. She's like, haha, funny. And then boom, one of those fucking worm monsters comes out from behind Treat. Xenia ends up, you know, running away. And now this worm thing, we get a really good look at its face, okay? Because it's like, they move really fast, but this one's like stalking very slowly. And it does not have eyes at all. It's got like 6 or 7 teeth-lined, I don't know, finger lips. It's weird, but it like opens up like a flower.
Yeah.
It's like stalking down the hallway, and it runs into some steam, and it's like, so the heat hurts it. Treat reaches for his gun, and it scrapes along the floor, and then the monster fucking hears that shit. And it opens its mouth, and more fucking teeth and finger shits come out, and it looks like the fucking predator mouth. Treat gets scared, backs off of his gun, and this thing has got him dead to rights. It's about to fucking eat his face, when all of a sudden it starts getting shot from behind, and it is Xenia to the rescue with her cute little handgun.
All right.
She's like, time to go! Yeah, hey, I owe you one. Well, get me off of here alive, and we're even. Deal? Deal, baby. And we fuck. And a beer. Chilton and the captain. Laurel and Hardy. Doing hijinks. The captain gets caught by one of the worm things, like up from a gangplank, and dies like Hudson in Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you watch up too. All the mercs, they're shooting these fucking worm things, and they actually fight these monsters off. They back away and get out of the room. They're like, what the fuck are these things? Dr. Chilton, a goddamn genius, is like, oh yes, I'm beginning to think that our friends are members of the, such and such Otoya family. You know, some fucking sea animal, all right? Mm-hmm. Like, how the hell would you know that shit? You build cruise ships. Like, what the fuck is that? Well, At 4,000 feet, they are the size of a pencil. And at 30 or 40,000 feet, well, you do the math. Well, how do we kill them? Oh, the Atoya, they're very crafty. They hide in burrows, and then they grab you with their spiny dicks and shit, and then they eat you? And then Dr. Chilton looks at Xenia, and he's like, he pushes his glasses up, he's like, no, they drink you. They drink you alive, and then they excrete your skeletal remains. Treat's like, okay, bitches, here's the plan. Magua stops him, and he's like, I'm giving the orders here still, Treat. Treat says, you stay here and give all the orders you want. I'm going to my boat, and I'm going to fix it with the parts, and I'm going to get the fuck out of here. I second that motion. Xenia's like, mind if I tag along? Feel free. So they leave, and then all the mercs are looking at Magua, and he's like, yeah, okay, let's go with them. So now they're creeping through quiet, dark, steamy ship shit. And they're pointing their flashlights and shit, and they're looking at Dr. Chilton. Okay, which way? Because he designed it. He knows the blueprints. And he's showing them, and then, like, sparks are showering down and shit. And Grease Monkey goes, I ask you, man, could it get any worse? And then all the lights go out. So now they're moving through the dark. We are now, just to update, we are now down to Magua, Jason Fleming, one Merc, I don't remember his name, Dr. Chilton, Xenia, Grease Monkey, and Treat. So 3 Mercs and some fuckers. They're walking through the ship, and the Grease Monkey's like, bum 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 ba dum ba bum bum ba bum 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 ba da. They all turn and look. He's like, I can't get it out of my head. So they keep going, and they find this stairwell that is completely flooded. There's no other way to go. And Dr. Chilton's like, yeah, the way we need to go is down those stairs. But it's full of water. So it's a total Poseidon adventure moment. Somebody's got to go swim and see if it's safe on the other side, right? Treat Williams volunteers. He looks at Magua and he's like, but you're coming with me. Yeah, okay. All right, when I get to the other side, if it's safe, I'm going to fire 2 shots. And Grease Monkey's like, okay, well, if we're going to swim for it, I think it's your turn to carry the parts. So he gives him the backpack, the boat parts. Mm-hmm. They are like a character in this movie.
Yeah.
Treat's getting ready, and he's like, this is crazy. This is turning out to be one hell of a day. So they start swimming, and it's all like Alien Resurrection. All right? Remember that underwater scene? Jason Fleming decided to go with him, and we as the audience are with him during the swim. And he gets a jump scare because there's like a severed arm that comes down and touches him, and he's like, freaking out. They end up pulling him up out of the water. You know, they're okay. They fired the 2 shots, I guess. So we cut to the other 4. That other merc, whose name I can't remember, is like, yeah, you know, I don't mean to sound like a pussy, but this is starting to freak me out, man. Grease Monkey looks at Xenia and he's like, can you just get asthma? Or like, do you have to be born with it? Xenia and Dr. Chilton look at each other like, Jesus Christ.
He's such a great wingman. He's perfect in this movie.
Yeah. And then from behind him, boom! Oh, shit. Fucking monsters are coming in. And these motherfucking worm things are like flooding into this hallway. It's really fucking impressive. They're coming at him fast, and it's like, oh, fuck! Dr. Chilton's like, oh my God! And he leaves them. He just dives in and starts swimming. Xenia ends up actually getting thrown into the water, so she just swims too. Now it's Grease Monkey and then that random mercenary. And they actually fend these motherfuckers off with their machine guns. So they jump in and swim too. Now we are with that merc, and he's all by himself. Everybody's way up ahead of him. He starts hearing the screeching underwater and shit, and yep, one of them worms gets him from behind. So he starts being dragged back, but not before he pulls a fucking grenade out. And like, beep, boop, beep, has to push buttons and twist shit on it to arm it. But he gets pulled way back, and then there's this one of those big, cool underwater explosions where it's like a ball of white, smoky bubbles.
Yeah.
So then everybody else, they're in some weird kitchen. Okay, they're like trapped in the galley. And the grease monkey comes up. So, yep, they got him. He's okay. They're like, what now? Fuck, man, no more elevators. Treat's like, how long before we can expect a rescue? I'm not waiting on any rescue party, Treat. Well, you know, we checked in just before sunset, so it'll be another 24 hours before anyone's even searching for us. This flips Jason Fleming out. He's like, fuck this! A fucking day or two? No! He's fucking losing it. He's like, you know what? We stay here. We stay here. Yeah, you know, there's like enough food here. We can make a stand here. Jason Fleming's like, I say we are. And he points his gun at everybody. Magua, he ain't having that shit. He points his gun right back, and he's like,
Your temper is very quick, my friend. But until you learn to master your rage...
Your rage will become your master? That's what you were going to say, right? Right?
Not necessarily.
Then Treat's like, I once saw a guy put a fish in a bottle and then put it in a tank with an octopus. Within a couple of minutes, that octopus pulled off the cork, climbed into the bottle, and ate the fish. And the moral of this story is, we're the fish. Oh, fuck. I'm going for my boat. I'm gonna pray those fuckers are not crawling all over it, and I'm gonna bail the hell out of here. Jason Fleming is like all fucking crying and shit, and then everybody looks behind him, and now they are all terrified. He notices this, and he's like, what? And then he like kind of looks over his shoulder, and there is a fucking worm monster just like hovering in the air over him.
That's a good scene.
Just fucking looking at him. And then he just like takes a deep breath, aims his gun behind him over his shoulder, and starts firing. Turns around, keeps shooting it, fucking gets it. Fucking scares it away. While he was doing that, everybody else ran. So he scares it away, and he's like, yeah, you want some? You're nothing. And he's like, yeah, I did it. And then he turns around. There's another one behind him that way, and it fucking eats him.
Oh.
So everybody else is fucking running. Now this time, they're like running for a door, and it closes and locks. And they're like, what the fuck? They try to go to another one. Same thing happens. They're running down a hallway. All this debris and shit falls down in front of them. And they're like, holy shit, dude, what the fuck is going on here? They're hurting us. They're trying to make us go in a certain direction. So now you're telling me these things can think? Dr. Chilton's like, they're pushing us towards the bow of the ship. Well, what the fuck is at the bow of the ship? Treat's like, he gets a look on his face like, all right, guess we're going to the bow of the ship. It's the only way, so they go. Treat's like, okay, Dr. Chilton, which way? Which way now? And he's like, oh, yes, go on that way. And he stops to like catch his breath. Xenia's like, hey, are you coming? He's like, yeah, I'm right behind you. And then he goes off another way. So he is double crossing. So now there are only 4. And they make it into another ballroom in the cruise ship. It is a fucking mess, dude. It is a graveyard of blood and gore and melty fucking skeletons and shit.
It is awesome.
It is beautiful. And the camera will like show a skeleton, and you'll hear like a very faint like we can hear like the ghosts of the people dying. What the fuck is this? It looks like some kind of feeding ground. Margot says, looks like a dead end to me. Where's Dr. Chilton? And then a really big fucking starts to happen. They're like, holy shit, now what? Oh my God, they're breaking through the hull of the ship. And then boom, all this fucking seawater starts rushing in. And, if you didn't think they were sinking before, they're definitely fucked now. Now there is a huge flood following them down the hallways, and they just have to fucking run. Go, go, go! So they run into another hallway. They try to close the door. It doesn't fucking matter. Water's rushing at them and shit. And now they see running up ahead of them is Dr. Chilton. They found him. And they're like, Chilton! And he turns and sees him, and he's like, oh! Now he's running from them, too. And he goes into some other door and closes it. And they're like, open it up, you bastard! Now, together in a hallway of their own are Magua and the Grease Monkey, running right next to each other. Grease Monkey's like, they're coming, oh my God. He trips and falls and ends up tripping Magua as well. He's like, you stupid son of a bitch. Magua pulls out 2 grenades. Like he's gonna give this a try. And he's like,
Sometimes the true hero is the one with the courage to run away.
Grease Monkey grabs one of the grenades. He's like, give me one of those. And then he just throws it at the fucking worms. And nothing happens. Magwa's like, you stupid son of a bitch. And he starts like, beep, boop, beep, and twisting shit. He arms it and throws it at the worms. And Grease Monkey goes, you didn't tell me to do that. You didn't tell me to do that. And then boom, those fucking worms blow up. So yeah, he kind of knows what he's doing. Cutting to Treat and Xenia. They're running through hallways on the ship, and now, for some reason that I don't know, doors are automatically closing, like computer-controlled. Mm-hmm. Treat goes, fuck! And he starts like trying to keep one from closing. Xenia's like, what the fuck are you doing? I lost the fucking backpack, babe.
Oh, shit.
The parts, we ain't going anywhere without them. Shit! No time. Water is rushing in, and they are fucked. Back with Magwa and the Grease Monkey. They're catching up! Oh my god, what are we gonna do? The only way to slow them down is to feed them. Feed them? What are we gonna feed them? All I got is a wet stick of gum and a breath mint. And then Magwa shoots him in the leg.
Oh.
He's like, you son of a bitch! So the monsters, these fucking worm things, they're fucking rushing at him, and he just barely escapes into a dumbwaiter. Chilton goes outside, looks down at the hull of the ship, and he's like, oh my god, it's gonna sink. And then he starts laughing, and he's like, yeah, okay, all right, it's gonna sink. Because, insurance money. He looks off into the darkness and sees a fucking island. All right? Like, not too far away. Elsewhere, Treat and Xenia see it too, and they're like, oh shit, all right. They look down, she sees his boat, and she's like, that fucking heap of junk is your boat? You got a better one! Well, can it make it to that island without the engine parts? Not a chance in hell, baby. Well, then what are we doing? Trust me, I got a plan. And they lower themselves down to the boat and, with like some cable bullshit. I don't know. Now we cut to the Grease Monkey, who has indeed made it. And he's like walking through a quiet part of the boat. And it's all carpeted and nice and shit. Like he's back in the casino area. He looks up at the wall, and on the wall is a sign that says, the Argonautica, your fun ship. And he's okay, but he's limping. He's shot in the leg. He loses balance and falls down, and he's like leaning back up against a desk. He looks down at the ground. There's a handgun. He's like, all right, sweet. He picks it up. And all of a sudden, he gets grabbed by the shoulder. And he's scared. Oh, Jesus. He turns around and looks, and it's Magwa. And he's just like laying on the desk behind him, just fucking looking at him and shaking like he's trembling, right? And it's like, what the fuck's happening? He's not saying a word. The camera pans back, and we see that one of the worms has him half swallowed and is eating him slowly.
Oh.
Like a fucking python. And it's pretty freaky looking. Grease Monkey's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And he wiggles out of his grip and then like backs off. And then he turns and runs out of the room, but then stops. And he looks back at Magwa, and he walks up to him, and he hands him the gun. And he looks at him and says, don't say I never gave you nothing. And then he just hobbles away. Magwa takes a shot at him. Oh! He misses. It hits the wall. And Grease Monkey turns around and he goes, you asshole! And then he runs away. We stay with Magwa, who then shaking and shivering, turns the gun to his own forehead, pulls the trigger, and it clicks empty.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, man.
I'd have done the same thing.
Try to shoot him? Yeah. I think I would too. So then he just starts fucking screaming and gets pulled into this worm's fucking mouth, man. So back to Treat and Xenia. Remember, he's got a plan. He has now put her in the ski-doo room. And he's like, all right, you got to find the keys and make sure it's got gas, okay? She's like, okay. Remember, we're going to fuck later. So she's got one of the last shot, those big super machine guns, right? She looks around, sees a ski-doo, and then sees some keys on the wall. She's like, waist deep in water at this point. Treat is in his boat opening up torpedo crates. Grease Monkey fucking crashes in, and he's like, you missed me? Hey, quit screwing around. Now get to the engine room and get me any power you can. Not even hey, Grease Monkey, I'm glad to see you. What happened to your leg? Grease Monkey, you want to be the appetizer or the entree? Right. I'm on it. Give me the parts. And Treat goes, I don't know. Grease Monkey says, I lost him. Come on, Grease Monkey, go with the flow. I got a plan. Without the parts, this thing's only going to go like a city block. Well, that's all I'm going to need. Now get moving. Before he leaves, Grease Monkey goes, Layla?
Oh.
Yeah, it gets pretty sad, and Treat's like, I don't think she made it, man. Right. Okay, I'll go see what I can do. And then it cuts to him grinding metal with a grinder. He's wearing welding goggles and shit. And then he stops and he's fucking crying for a minute. And then he puts his goggles back on and he gets back to work. And the music goes all like, dun 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 dun.
Because he knows that's the last sex he's ever going to have.
Yeah. Might as well get on with it. Treat hoists a fucking torpedo to the front of the boat and like it's armed. So as soon as this boat hits anything, the torpedo's going to detonate and then that's going to blow up all the other torpedoes. Now he sets the autopilot for his boat to run into the cruise ship. So he's going to blow the whole fucking thing. Grease Monkey's like, okay, we're all set. I grinded some metal, so now we only got fuel for 5 minutes. All right, here goes nothing. He tries to start the boat, won't start. You have to be gentle. I know. All right, here we go. They try it again. Yep, it starts up. All right, yeah. Now let's get the hell out of here. As they're doing that, Grease Monkey turns around to the boat and he's like, bye-bye, baby. Xenia finds the Ski-Doo keys. And then from behind her, Dr. Chilton goes, hello. She turns around and he is pointing a flare gun at her. And he's got the fucking most awesome maniacal smile on his face. Like, bitch, anything goes now. Oh, it's nice to see you again, too. Now give me those keys. Wait, I'll take you with me. I promise, it'll be okay. Well, what about the others? Fuck them. They have to go down with the ship. That's how it works. Now give me the key. Now. And then he fucking trips and stumbles into the water, so she takes that opportunity to run away. As she's doing that, motherfucker shoots a flare at her. And it just misses her. And now he's got to chase her through the whole ship, and he is firing flares down hallways at her and shit. And he has more flares in his pocket. Like, there's one shot where he's running and, like, reloading it. Treat outside can hear what's happening, and then he turns to Grease Monkey. He's like, holy shit, get back in the boat and kill the engines. You need to buy me some more time. Then he runs in to save her.
I say, what the fork? Let's do it.
Chilton's like, give me that key, you bitch. Xenia runs into like some other ballroom, and then she's like hiding behind a pillar. And then Chilton is right behind her with the flare gun. Dr. Chilton in Deep Rising. I don't know what this actor's real name is, but whatever. He's perfect. And so he's got her dead to rights again, and he's like, I've never actually killed anyone before. Well, not on purpose, that is. And she goes, here, okay, take the key. Just take it. And he takes it. All right, now, just let me go. Just let me walk away. Oh, no, I don't think so. No witnesses allowed. And, I don't think this will be quick, but, it'll be interesting. So yeah, he's going to shoot her in the face with a flare. And then boom, fucking Treat busts in shooting. He's got a machine gun now too. And he's like shooting at Dr. Chilton, who's like running away. And he stops and he looks at himself and he is not shot. He looks back up at Treat, who's got a look on his face like, bitch, you know I could have shot you. And he keeps shooting at him, but he's like chasing him away with bullets.
Yeah.
Like, Treat, he's not a killer.
Yeah.
So Chilton just runs out of the room. Now there is this huge fucking rumble from beneath them in the floor. Treat's like, now what? And then the center of the room fucking erupts with these fucking worm monsters. And there's just this big fucking pile of them coming up out of the floor. Bigger than any that you've ever seen. Right in the middle of them is this huge fucking pulsing slimy ball sack. I mean, it's huge. It's as big as a fucking house. Treat's like, now there's something you don't see every day. Xenia says, yeah, it's time to go. Yeah, good idea. So they start backing out, and then Treat gets grabbed by a worm. And he's like twisted up in it like a fucking snake coil or something.
Yeah.
And it hoists him up into the air. And then, no shit, another worm comes over and like punches him in the face. And then this big oily ball sack in the middle like turns around. And we see it's got 2 eyes and a big giant fucking tooth-filled mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Now it all makes sense. All of these worms, the entire time they have just been this monster's tentacles.
Yeah. Like fucking Cthulhu shit.
Yeah, man. Now, I also read that the working title when they were filming this movie was indeed Tentacle.
No.
But they were like, well, that gives it away.
That was Harrison Ford's idea.
Yeah.
Change the name.
Change the name. I'm still not doing it. But we changed it for you. What's going on here? So then this fucking monster's head just like starts roaring at him. Raw. And the face actually kind of looks a little like the Rancor from
Yes.
Return of the Jedi.
Exactly.
Okay. So it's now pulling Treat up to its mouth and it's about to eat him. And then it kind of turns its head and focuses one of his eyes at Treat, who then says, "What are you looking at?" He pulls his shotgun out and then just fires right into that eye, which then fucking explodes.
Yeah, totally, man.
Just like big old jelly pop.
Fucking elephant eyeball.
Yeah. One of the big elephant eyeballs.
Fucking jelly pop.
So it panics and screams and like it ends up letting him go. So he's like, run, get to the cargo bay.
You'll shoot your eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out. All right, Black Bart. Now you get yours.
The monster goes to its mother, and it's like, there was an icicle, and it fell.
Quickly, I whipped up some tears. It's smiling at me. Not ra 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 ra. It's la 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 la. So Treat now jumps down onto his boat. And he's like, Grease Monkey, come on, start it up. Oh, shit. And the front windshield of the boat is all broken out. And Grease Monkey's hat is sitting there on the console. So he's gone.
No.
Yeah, one of the worms came in and got him. Worm tentacles. So fuck, man, he's dead. And the music gets all sad, to let you know that. Treat hears the screeching outside of the monsters, and so he looks up and he's all serious. Xenia is going for the jet ski. She finds her gun. She's like, oh, Treat, where are you? Where are you when I need you? There's a noise behind her. She turns and fucking shoots, and it is Treat. So she almost killed him. Oh my God, thank God you're alive. Damn straight I am. Let's keep it that way, huh? Stupid bitch. Dr. Chilton runs outside. He's on like a balcony, and he sees the boat down there, and he's like, oh, fuck yeah. Oh my God. I am actually going to get away with this shit. All right. And now Treat has turned on the autopilot again, and the boat starts to leave. So Dr. Chilton's like, no! And he has no choice. He has to jump or miss the boat. And he jumps and then breaks his fucking leg when he hits the deck. So he's crying, and he like looks down at his leg, and there's like bloody bone sticking out. He's fucked. But now the boat's like moving. Treat and Xenia are both on the Sea-Doo together, and he's like, this is one hell of a jump. Why don't we back up and get up some speed, okay? Yeah, all right, let's drive down the hallway. So they go down the hallway. It's all full of water. They can just ride this fucker right through the whole cruise ship. So he turns around, and now he's like, all right. He comes back out into the cargo bay, and there are tentacles in the doorway now. Oh. So he's like, fuck. He fucking turns around, goes back down the hallway. And he's just like driving off into the cruise ship. Like, nothing else to do. So now these tentacles are fucking chasing him now, and there are so fucking many of them. Treat points his shotgun over his shoulder and just fires backwards, takes out one of the tentacles, and then he yells at Xenia, cock it! And she just reaches up and cocks his gun for him. This isn't symbolic. At this point, Dr. Chilton, he is in the cockpit of the boat, and he sees it's on autopilot, and it is on a course set to crash into the ship. And he's like, no. Holy shit. He starts like pushing buttons and shit, and nothing's working. Treat has to keep driving and evading these fucking tentacles and shit, and now they're heading for a dead end. They're heading for another fucking elevator, okay? And the door is shut. Treat shoots the button with his shotgun, and then the door goes ding and opens up. And now we see that it's a freight elevator, so there's another door on the other side, and he has to do it again. So he holds the gun back to her, and he's like, cock it! She does it again. He fires, hits the button, and they get away from these tentacles.
That's so great.
And they're like, yeah! They're fucking celebrating and shit. Dr. Chilton cannot stop the boat collision. And he's like, fuck! He is about to crash into the Argonautica. He looks up at the video screens he looks up at the console in the boat, and the video poker is up there. And it just says, game over, game over, game over. And he's like, boom! It fucking blows up. All the other torpedoes blow, and now the cruise ship itself starts to explode. So now Treat and Xenia have to jet ski through fire.
Oh, yeah.
And they're being chased by fire now, okay? They're going. They finally come back to the door they were going to jump out of, and Treat's like, hang on! And they do this big, giant jump out of the cruise ship, followed by a plume of flame, okay? They actually used this for one of the movie posters. So they go out, and they fucking land in the water. They land real hard, but they're okay. And they start driving off into the darkness. Now we see the big giant monster in the ballroom, and he gives out like one final scream, like the whole boat's filling with fire, and he's like, "Rah!" And he just like blows into bits for some reason.
He or she.
Ooh. Mind blown. So it blows to bits. And then the whole ship just explodes and disintegrates. Treat and Xenia ride away off into the darkness. And we cut to daylight. And we're on a beach. And we see Treat, and he's like checking out the engine of the jet ski. And they only traveled like a mile or two. But he's looking at it, and he's like, shot to shit. Oh, grease monkey, where are you when I need you, man? Xenia calls from farther away. She's like, hey, I found a souvenir. And she comes running up with one of those life preserver rings. And it says, Argonautica. And Treat goes, well, I guess we're stuck on this island. And then Xenia grabs that motherfucker and plants one on him. And he starts kissing back. Yeah, baby. And then she walks away from him. And he says again, but this time much happier. He goes, well, I guess we're stuck on this island. She's like, better than a cold beer, huh?
Yes, of course. You may absolutely bring the brewskis.
And then she's like, Treat, look over there. He looks out into the water. Paddling up on a surfboard is fucking Grease Monkey.
No.
And he's got no hat. And he looks like somebody threw a cat in a swimming pool.
It wasn't until the very end when we thought he died that you mentioned he had a hat.
Yeah, who cares? I thought you said he was dead. I thought he was dead. So they're pulling him out of the water, and he's like, oh, God, you guys, it almost had me, man. It almost had me. It came crashing through the windshield. I ran out the hatch. The thing was snapping at my ass. I dove overboard and swam like hell. Next thing I know, kablooey. And they're like, yeah, cool. Dragging him up. And he's like, hey, is it the water in my eyes, or did I just see a little lip action between you two? Oh, my God. And they're like, well, I could leave you alone. I guess I could walk down the beach, And they're both like, grease monkey. Okay, cool. I'll stick around. You don't have to beg me. And they all start laughing. And then Grease Monkey looks around at where they are, and he's like, yeah, this looks like a nice enough place. And then, roar! Way off in the distance, there is this huge fucking roar and fucking snarling and shit. And then the camera pans up, and we see more of the island, and there's like forest and shit, and there is an erupting volcano off in the background, but that's not what's making the noise. We see the trees moving like something is coming through them. Something fucking huge. There is another monster on this fucking island. We don't know what it is, but it is basically 50 feet away from them. They are about to get attacked by it. It is so big, and it is so right on them. And then Treat just goes, now what? And then we cut to credits.
That was a great ending.
I know, man. I remember in the theater, I was like, they're going to make a second one.
You saw this in the theater?
Yeah.
Damn. All right, man.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, good job, Ron.
Thanks. Yeah, there you have it, folks. Deep Rising on Movies with Ron. What'd you think, Rick? Rick had to leave.
Yeah, he had an emergency.
Well, Candy, how was it?
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
This is your first time being here for the whole recap.
I enjoyed it.
The monsters and the CGI was so good, but then when they get out of the boat on the jet ski and there's that big explosion behind them, it's like the cheapest looking
fucking
chroma
blue screen
key
shit
going on.
Yeah, man.
It was a great creature movie.
Oh, yeah.
They don't do a lot of those anymore.
At the time, it was a worthy successor to Tremors.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Too bad it didn't take off like Tremors did. 7 sequels. But it has had a place in our hearts our whole lives.
Definitely.
$45 million budget. It was a medium-sized monster movie.
Yeah.
Which you never see anymore.
Exactly.
And you probably never will. Well, thanks for coming, Candy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. You want to come next time?
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right, cool.
This always happens.
What?
At the end, they're both like, so tired. And there's this point where Chris just goes,
well, folks, if you're using iTunes or Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating and review if you haven't already. We got a Facebook page. We're on Twitter @MoviesWithRon. There's movieswithron.com. Check us out. All right. It's been fun.
Yep. Love you.
Bye, guys.
Movies with Ron.